And yeah, it's that time of the year where families and friends come together to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, Christmas. And so you already know this is the this is the part where this is the time where you get to meet that your uncle from the village, your aunt, your brother, your sister, your cousins, and it's usually quite interesting, I must say. I think as we head back home for Christmas, to spend time with our families, the obvious things that could come up, that may affect your mental health. Those who aren't even married, like the singles like me. I know. For the single people, you're just there wondering. It will be another year where they'll get to ask you, oh, why aren't you married yet? Isn't there someone? And times like this, your mental health will be tested, actually. And so I think it's much more important if we talk about that. Hi guys, my name is Pearl Okun and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. Here we talk about mental health, self-awareness and personal development. And today we would be talking about Christmas and mental health. Now we all know that it's been a long year, especially with this new variant of the COVID that they call the Omicron. Even during the COVID-19, it's been a crazy year, and it affected a lot of people. People lost their jobs. Marriages were brought together more than they were destroyed. People grew apart. People had to face their fears. People had to face their truth. A lot of things were revealed, and I think this was the era that mental health became very much more obviously important. 2020 last year, people started to see the essence of taking care of their mental health. Also, I think a lot of people gained more. For me, last year was very interesting. I learned a lot of things. I had a lot of challenges. I learned a lot of things. It opened my eyes to a lot of truths. And this year, I would say, has been awesome. It's been amazing for me. And yeah, it's that time of the year where families and friends come together to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, Christmas. And so you already know this is the time where you get to meet that your uncle from the village, your aunt, your brother, your sister, your cousins, and it's usually quite interesting, I must say. If you notice, I'm in a different background, and that's because I'm back home. And ever since I got back home, I've been overwhelmed, and I've been struggling with being consistent in creating content, which is basically what I do. And I've had a lot to do. I've had a lot to deal with. I had to run errands, and at some point, I almost cried because, man, I wanted to just be on my own. And times like this, your mental health will be tested, actually. And so I think it's much more important if we talk about that. So I think as we head back home for Christmas, to spend time with our families, the obvious things that could come up, that may affect your mental health. You start to feel like you're a little bit under pressure from your home, even when no one is telling you anything. It's almost like you're out there comparing yourselves. You're out there comparing yourself to someone. Then you find yourself thinking, oh, maybe I should not head back home because then Mr. Peter will come with his wife, and obviously they have their shit figured out and I don't. Your financial status will be tested. For those who have lost their jobs, they'll be worried because then they won't have anything to, present to whoever it is that looks up to them. For those who have been married that probably don't have kids, that's like another different expectation on its own. And then for those who aren't even married, like the singles like me, I know. For the single people, you're just there wondering. It will be another year where they'll get to ask you, oh, why aren't you married yet? Isn't there someone? You might feel left out, like you're not good enough. Maybe if you've gone through some financial crisis, especially during the pandemic, you might even feel like you shouldn't even be heading home. I know some people who have decided to stay back in town and not spend Christmas in the village or go home because they feel they're not financially, capable of meeting up with demands and expectations from home. So they'll rather spend Christmas back in their houses, and it's totally fine. Whatever works for you. You might feel lonely. There are so many. It's just crazy. There's so many things to feel when you get back home. You might feel overwhelmed with a lot of expectations, a lot of bills, a lot of it's crazy. I can't even say, but I will tell you, they're just basic things you should do to deal with these things. It's very easy. I think first off, you should start first with being kind to yourself. Most times we put pressure on ourselves, even when people don't. We expect more and we start to think that they are thinking that, but it's usually not like that. I believe we all belong to families where we are loved regardless. I don't think my parents, they don't put such pressure on me, to provide. They don't put such pressure on me to get married or have kids, I think. And then I think most times we put pressure on ourselves. So I think first off, you have to learn how to be kind to yourself. That's the only way people will learn how to treat you. So if you're kind to yourself, reduce the expectations, be mindful, and live in the moment. Stop worrying about the future or the past, what had happened in the past, what had happened during the pandemic, or what will happen if you don't do such a thing. I think we should learn how to be mindful. We should learn how to live in the present, be in the now. And being in the now right now means that you're alive. You can breathe, you can eat, you can blink, you can sleep, you're healthy. Right? I think we should learn to appreciate each second, each moment. And that's being able to spend time with your loved ones. That's all that there is. No one really wants you to, I believe no one really expects you to kill yourself. If you're the uncle or the aunt or the sister or the brother who usually gets stuff back home during Christmas, and this time around you're not able to, it doesn't really matter. I believe your family members or your friends would understand and see that. I feel like everyone is going through a lot this period. I swear to God, like, it's been crazy. Because me, sir, I came back and I think I've been on the receiving end. I'm not even going to lie. I've been on the receiving end. I've been eating free food, light water. It's been amazing, and I thank God for that. So I think that is enough, being able to spend time with your loved ones, because some of us are in the hospital. Some people don't even have this luxury that most of us are enjoying now, being able to move from one place to another and being able to spend time with our families. Some people are in the hospital, some people are dead in the morgue. So I think that's quite enough reason to be thankful. We should learn how to be kind to ourselves and reduce the pressure and the expectations that we put on ourselves by ourselves. And what I'm trying to say is, if you're watching this video and you're going through a lot of mental health issues, you're mentally stressed because of Christmas, I'm here to tell you that it's not that serious. Try not to pressure yourself into anything. Be kind to yourself. Live in the moment. Go home. I'm sure your parents, your siblings, they love you regardless. Stop putting that pressure on your own self. It's okay. I mean, you can always get back up. You can always hit that break. You can always be financially stable again. You would get married. You would have kids. It's okay. You have to learn to love yourself, be kind to yourself before anyone else can. That's all you need to do. So if you found this video helpful, please click on the subscribe button, leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about this Christmas holiday, and see you next time. Mwah.